So a topic of discussion that I often get involved in as a photographer is about camera lenses. What kind of lenses am I shooting with currently? What's my go-to lens? All kind of questions like that. So today I thought I'd give you a little bit of a rundown as to what lenses I'm currently using, maybe throw up a few images that I've shot with them. So let's check them out. So like so many photographers, when it comes to camera lenses, my go-to tactic is to have as broad a focal range as possible with as few lenses in my bag as possible. So I have 4 lenses in total that I use, but I only ever take out 3 with me. One of them, which is my 50mm f1.8, my nifty 50, always stays at home. I generally use it for family portraits and things like that. And then I have 3 lenses that I take out with me, and those are my Nikon or Nikon, depending where you're coming from, 16-35 f4, my Sigma 24-70 f2.8 art lens, and my Sigma 70-200 f2.8 sport lens. So I'll go through all of those in a minute and discuss what I do with them. It's not going to be a technical review of any of the lenses by any means, just a brief overview of each lens, and I'll throw up a few images that I've taken with them as we go along. So let's start with the widest lens in my kit, which is the Nikon or Nikon 16-35mm f4 lens. Now, when I upgraded to a full frame system back in 2019, didn't have a lot of time before I was heading out to Iceland for a road trip. And after reading a few reviews on some different lenses, this one stood out the most. Shooting Nikon, it was a bit of a no-brainer. But it got the best reviews out of the ones that I was reading by a country mile. So I went with this one. It's a fantastic lens. It's not overly big for an ultra wide angle lens. It's got a 77mm filter thread, which is great. It's very much compatible with the rings that I already had. And yeah, it shoots some absolutely fantastic images. It's also vibration reduced, which is, you don't always get on an ultra wide angle lens, but on the odd occasion that I shoot with it handheld, it definitely comes in handy. I've shot some really nice landscapes with this. I don't use it maybe as much as I should, but I definitely want to get some more use of it in the coming year. Got a lot of plans to get out a hell of a lot more, certainly a lot more than 2022, that is for sure. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. F4 all the way through the focal range. As I say, it's not overly heavy, but it's very steady. It's a good build quality lens. Definitely recommend this if you're shooting Nikon. Okay, so a lens that I definitely wanted when I went to full frame was the Sigma 24-70 f2.8 art lens. Now, I had a little play with it a little while before I upgraded to full frame, and it was a definite must-have. It was a no-brainer. Didn't even think about it. Just ordered it, and I'm so happy with the purchase. This thing is an absolute beast. Having a lens with 2.8 capability and this focal range that this has got is a definite must-have for me. It covers a wide array of scenarios, from landscapes to portraits. I've shot weddings with this. I shoot product photography with this quite regularly. It is definitely my workhorse. It very rarely comes off the camera body in the odd occasion that I need either of the other 2 lenses, which, you know, they get a lot of use, but nowhere near as much as this does. Autofocus, manual override, image stabilization. It's absolutely fantastic. The whole thing, it's all alloy or magnesium alloy, I think it is. The grips are absolutely fantastic. It feels amazing. It is a bit of a weight. I've currently got the Lee filters lens hood on there because I've been shooting with some filters on. Ugh. Glass is a little bit dirty, so I'm sorting that out. But the glass, when I got it, look at that. Look at that glass. The glass absolutely terrifies me. Every time I take a look at it, the glass is so big. Just scares the life out of me. Never want to scratch that, crack that. But an absolute beast. If you're looking for a really good and fairly priced 24-70 2.8 lens, this in any of the manufacturers' fits that it's available, the lens mount, sorry, that it's available in. It's available from most major camera manufacturers, and I would definitely recommend one of these. So back in 2019, not long before I was due to head out to Iceland on what was an epic road trip with a couple of friends, I was doing some work with Sigma. I was doing some work when I went out to Iceland. I was actually reviewing another lens of theirs that I don't own, but I was also going to be doing a review for the 70-200 f2.8 sport lens, and that was, if it arrived in time, within a few weeks of us due to go out. These hadn't even landed in the UK with the Nikon F mount. I ordered it because I knew I wanted it. I just wanted to get my hands on this lens. I'd read a few reviews, I'd watched a couple of videos of some people that had been lucky enough to test them, either for Nikon or Canon at the time that was already out. And I knew I wanted this lens, so I ordered it with Sigma, and it arrived 3 days before flying out to Iceland. So I had no chance of testing it whatsoever. I took a couple of test shots in the garden just to make sure, check the focusing and things like that. But 3 days. So the first time I properly used this was in Iceland, in the Thingvellir National Park, and it came in handy all the way through that trip. In fact, I wouldn't have got quite a few shots that trip or this year's trip if it hadn't have been for this lens. Just like the 24-70, it's got a very rugged body. It is quite heavy. I don't have technical specs, as I said earlier on. This isn't a technical video, but it does weigh a little bit. Just like the 24-70, it's got a big glass element. It has customizable buttons on the side that I've never used, 2 of them. It is image stabilized. It has autofocus, as you would expect in a lens like this. And one thing it does have that I've heard a few people talking pretty bad about is the tripod mount, the bracket that a lot of lenses that have a bit of weight in them, or longer lenses, have. I absolutely love this. It means that I can change the orientation of the image without changing the tripod whatsoever. Just undo the little lug nut on the side and it spins around. You can hear that. Nice bit of feedback. A little marker. Tighten the lug nut up. Jobs are good. A few people I've spoken to, I certainly read reviews about, don't like this because it's fixed. It doesn't come off like a lot of them do. Now, I like that because you can take it off if you need to. It just means undoing a few of these little Allen bolts in the foot plate there. Now, one thing I like this for is because I don't think it will ever fail you. I was recently watching a video, I can't remember what lens it was, but the bracket that comes undone and can come off failed, and a big lens, bigger than this, not even a 70-200, it was a bigger lens, fell off. That caused the camera to fall off and the lens hit the ground, and I don't think it was repairable if I remember rightly. So having this being a fixed unit, it's very sturdy as well. It's alloy, magnesium alloy, whatever the material is. Again, no technical specs here at the moment, but that feels great. Fits into my Arca Swiss style tripod clamp perfectly well, nice and tight. Create some really good images with this. I'm going to throw a few images up at the end of the video, and I'll mark them with the lenses. I'll put them in order, but I'll mark them with the lenses that they were shot with. So if you are, again, if you're looking for a really, really good, and again, very reasonably priced 70-200 with f2.8 all the way through, and also what I'll add is it's got internal baffles, so you've got no extension on the lens, so it doesn't make it any longer, doesn't change the weight at the front end when you shoot on a tripod, which is great. But if you're definitely looking for something like this, the Sigma 70-200 f2.8 sport lens is an absolute winner for me, so definitely check that out. Okay, so those are my current lenses that I'm using, and they will be for some years to come, hopefully. I have no plans on upgrading or changing any of these lenses for the foreseeable future. Don't have any plans to upgrade my camera system just yet. Mirrorless, obviously everybody's talking about mirrorless these days, but I just don't feel the need to upgrade my camera system just yet. If you want to talk about lenses, feel free to drop a comment down below, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as possible, and we can start a discussion if you want any suggestions or any advice on what lenses to go for, what photography you're doing. I'll happily do my best to try and give you some pointers, some sort of direction as to what lenses you might want to look for. I'm never going to tell you what lenses to buy, but I can always happily give you some pointers as to where you might want to be headed. Okay folks, so that's it for this video. Thank you for checking it out if you did, and if you liked what you saw, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any comments whatsoever, you know where they go, down there somewhere. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps, and I'd appreciate as much support with this channel as possible. So that's it. Another video coming out next week. I haven't decided as to which day is working best for me yet, but it's either going to be Wednesdays or Sundays. So if you are subscribing, hit the notification bell to find out when the videos are dropping, and I'll have some more content for you next week. All right, thanks for watching. See ya.